Well, we'll hopefully Kate will roll in here shortly. So with that, I will go ahead and call the remote meeting of the West Ritson City Council on December 1st to order at 6 p.m. And before we get started, I'll ask Stephanie to read the virtual meeting ground rules again. I don't see anybody from the public here, however. So seeing no one from the public, we're going to go ahead and exclude that explanation, as we all know it quite well. And with that, I'll let Stephanie go ahead and mute everybody, and then I will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this evening.
I need to
Brought my flag.
I need to call the roll first.
Oh, my bad.
That's okay.
Stephanie, will you please call the roll this evening?
Thank you. Brent Gary,
Here.
Richard Bloom,
Here.
Fred Brink,
Here.
Gail Brown,
Here.
Rich Buell,
Here.
David Fetto,
Here.
John Smart,
Here.
and it looks like Kate is just in the waiting room there. So
Okay. Hello, Kate. Can you hear me?
she's kind of there.
You're back in your virtual background, and all I see is an outlined shadow.
There we go.
You're ghosting this evening. We've
I'm
called
trying.
we've called your name, so you just say here and we'll get on with things.
I'm here, present.
Perfect. Okay, so I'll ask Stephanie to mute everybody, and I will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Mayor Gary. Oh, that was me. Okay. Council, the agenda is before you. Do I have a motion to approve? Well, before we get going, let me do one other thing. We're going to kind of go out of sequence here. I'm going to turn the floor over to Eric Mendenhall. And Eric, you have an introduction, if you would, please, this evening.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. So Alicia Ransom is on the screen with us this evening. She is a new hire. We hired her to start. She started on Monday for the associate planner position, and she's jumped in both feet and is going full speed ahead. Alicia comes to us via some internships that she has done over the years in her undergraduate and graduate programs. She has her graduate degree in Masters in Urban Planning from the Portland State University. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And she has a planning degree also from Brigham Young University for her time that she spent there too. So Alicia, welcome. This is the council. Welcome.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
So we have all our council members with our Mayor Pro Tem Fred Brink as Mayor Pro Tem. We got David Fetto and Rich Buell and John Smart.
Welcome, Alicia.
And Gail Stanfield and Richard Bloom. Wave, Richard. I think he froze up. And Kate Moran.
Hello.
And of course, we have Chief Magetics with us this evening. Our legal advisor, Bronson Brown from Bell Brown and Rio. And obviously you've met everybody else. So Alicia, great to have you aboard. And we look forward to many years of keeping you busy because we got a lot of things going on. So with that, council, the agenda is before you. May I have a motion to approve the agenda this evening?
I move to approve the agenda as presented, Mr. Mayor.
Second it.
A motion and a second. All in favor, say aye, please.
Aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you, council. The consent agenda is before us this evening, which includes approve the minutes of the regular meeting of November 17th, 2020. A motion to approve administrative settlement for the road right-of-way of South 38-224 Signal Project. Motion to approve administrative settlement for the road right-of-way again on 38 and SR 224 Signal Project. Motion to authorize the mayor to execute amendment number 9 to the interlocal agreement with Benton City for street sweeping services. And a motion to execute an agreement for electrical service with Benton REA for the chief's new police facility. And I see no one here from the audience this evening. Do you, Stephanie?
I do not.
Seeing no one, council, if I could have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I move
I
to
move to approve.
as presented.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, council. Moving right along to our ordinances, resolution, motions, and public hearings. We have none of those this evening. And nor do we have any unfinished business nor new business. And by golly, rolling right on through, I don't see anybody from the audience public tonight. Stephanie, nobody's joined us or in the waiting room?
I do not see anyone, no.
Okay, so apparently we will not have any citizen public comment this evening. So I'm just going to go ahead and ask council if they have any comments or announcements to please raise your hand and we'll go ahead and recognize you by way of hand raising this evening. Okay, this Kate Moran. Yes, Kate.
Yes, we did have a BFCOG meeting, the Ben Franklin County meeting. We had that on the 20th, and we have a new committee that has been created, and I was asked if I would be on that committee. It is the Economic Development District Strategy Committee, and we're going to be reviewing the first draft 2020 CEDS update, and that's going to be, I think it's the week of this. Yes, we're going to be doing that on the 8th is when we're going to have that committee meeting, the 8th and a.m. So after we have that, I will report back.
Kate, do you happen to have what that acronym stands for?
That's what I was trying to find in this email. Community and Economic Development Strategy, I believe, is what CEDS is. Yes. It's the Community and Economic Development Strategy update that we're going to be going over, the first draft. And the committee is the Economic Development District Strategy Committee.
Okay,
It's a mouthful.
did you say through the COG?
The BFCOG, yes.
Ben Franklin Council of Governments. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I didn't know that they were getting into the economic development side of things right now. So that's good. Okay. Be interesting.
Yeah, there's a new employee that they have, Davin Diaz, and he's the one that I believe has been heading this off.
Davin?
Davin Diaz, yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. He was with MCL then, wasn't he, at one time?
Mhm.
Okay.
He was. Yep.
Yeah. Perfect. Oh, good. All right. Anything else for us, Kate?
That's it.
Perfect.
Happy to be here.
Yeah. Thank you for the update. Anyone else this evening? John?
Mayor. So, and council, I'll just report that I had a particularly fun Saturday a couple weeks back. We took our American Heritage Girl Troop. We were asked to help with the Bikes for Tykes program through Jan Ritchie. And we were able to, with appropriate social distancing and a good sized shop, get 50 bikes assembled. And I delivered those with my middle daughter over to the Union Hall, Local 598, last weekend. And so that was a fun event. It always is when there's the opportunity to get together with, 600 of your favorite people. But it's okay if there's only 30. And we got it done in little bits and pieces. I hear that they put together along with the bikes that were done with the city, upwards of 1,100 bicycles this year, even though they were doing micro builds, instead of the one big gathering.
Perfect. Yeah, it was good. That was a big challenge for Dan to put that all together. We're much appreciative of him doing that. So pass that on for us if you see him next time.
I will. It's an awesome project.
Thank you. Anyone else this evening?
Looks
Okay.
like,
Mayor Pro Tem Brink?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just wanted to let everyone know that Mr. Greg Couch, who is a commissioner for Benton County Fire District 4, has announced that he will be resigning from his position later on this month as he's moving from the area. I think he said he's moving over toward Yakima, but the commissioners will be appointing an individual to serve the unexpired portion of his term. So there'll be a change on the Board of Commissioners probably later on this month into January.
Very good. Thank you for the update. Anything else, Mayor Pro Tem?
No, sir.
Okay, very. Stephanie, does anybody else have their hands up? You're muted.
Councilmember Buell and also Councilmember Bloom.
Okay, very good. Mr. Buell.
Good evening, everybody. Council, I know that some of us have received emails in the last few months from folks interested in wheeled all-terrain vehicles potentially being allowed in Westridge. And I got another email today on that particular topic. Mr. Mayor, I'm curious how, as I've mentioned to you previously, when I first started to get some of these, I'm not at all knowledgeable about these types of vehicles and not exactly sure how to advise the citizen who contacted me about what they should do to potentially have the wheeled all-terrain vehicles allowed or not allowed, or what in West Richland. Who should they reach out to with the city to talk about these potential vehicles being allowed in town?
Well, obviously, council, you are the policymakers within our city. And so I would believe that it would be upon the council to get a consensus together that you'd like to have a discussion. We can put together a workshop on this particular item and have conversation and give chief an opportunity to prepare for any responses you might have, and or public works with the transportation side of things, as well as anything else that community development might have to add to that item. So that would be my suggestion, and that I'll take the direction from council from there.
Very good. So would it be what I mentioned to the citizen, as I've said in the past, I'm just not at all knowledgeable about these things. Could I have them reach out to Eric and Roscoe as the first step to at least find out what the rules are out here, and then have Eric or Roscoe report back to the council and then give a thumbs up or a thumbs down as to a potential workshop?
The obviously our code and ordinances are online available. I would recommend that maybe we ask them to reach out to our city clerk, Stephanie, to help direct them in the particular area in which they may want to go look. And then also have them pulse to council all individuals and see if they can ask one of you, if you feel necessary that we have that conversation, we do so. But as I said, I would be more than happy to take a consensus of council's direction and have that conversation. Maybe Chief has some more. He's got his hand up there.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. This subject, when it came up the first go around, Mr. Buell, the mayor had directed me to do some research, mostly with Kennewick, which does allow these vehicles on the road. And I'll tell you right now, we already completed that research, and Kennewick reports absolutely no problems with the restrictions. And really, adopting a policy of this nature would be very easy to do. And we wouldn't have to reinvent the wheel, because Kennewick's ordinance, which we reviewed, is very well written, very restrictive as far as what roadways would be allowed to operate the vehicle on. Mostly roadways under 30 miles an hour. As far as the Kennewick ordinance, we may choose to adjust that up or down a little bit if we choose to do so. But the groundwork's already there. So I think the mayor is suggesting either a workshop or a presentation, which I could do, or Eric and I could both work together on it, to council as far as what Kennewick's findings have been with the ordinance that they've implemented several years ago. Maybe that would provide you enough information to pursue it further, or even draft a ordinance to that effect if we choose to do so.
Okay. Thank you, Chief. And before I make my recommendation to council and the chief, John, you have your hand up, and then we'll move over to Gail. David, did you have your hand up too, David?
No, I'm okay.
Okay. I'm seeing hands now, so Stephanie shared with me the okie dokie screen. So go ahead, John.
Yeah, so Rich, thanks for bringing that up. I was also contacted probably by the same individual. And I know that in the last month or two, there's been evidently a hearing at the county level. And then I think I got a note back from this individual reporting that they were amiable to the concept of these vehicles on the county roads. So I agree with the chief. And I'm generally in favor, unless there's a problem, using these vehicles on the roads. I'm generally in favor of the concept, but I agree and would support a conversation on this. So yes, if this could be a topic that comes up on the agenda or scheduled for a workshop, I would favor that, and I would, barring some terrible issue that we're not aware of at this time, it seems like a reasonable request to me, especially considering, the ability to drive electric cars on the road, and some of them have speed limit limitations and things like that. So
Okay.
that's my 2 cents. Thank you.
You're welcome. And Benton County has passed that resolution, so they have the same thing within the county. Gail?
I had talked to the one gentleman a few times as well, and I had suggested that they come in and possibly do a little presentation or something before one of our meetings. I don't know that it would take a whole workshop. It just did pass by Benton County. Kennewick has passed it. I think a large chunk of the counties have passed it. I don't think any of them reported any trouble. There's a speed limit, but they're street legal. So I don't have any issue with this. I don't know if we need a workshop.
And Kate?
There we go. I just wanted to check and see, Eric, is this on your list of your very long list of things to do for council that we've given you? It's not on the priority list? Okay. I'm just wondering if this would be a simple little addition, copying basically what Kennewick did, but I'm sure that everything that might seem like a simple little addition isn't always. I would be in favor of it as well. I'm concerned for the strain on Eric, seeing as we have given him an extremely long list of things to do. But I would be in favor of this passing.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll ask the chief to put together a presentation for council, maybe a draft ordinance in regards to that for review. And I would put it all on the chief's plate to put the paperwork together and save Eric like Chief said, he's been in touch with Chief Holmberg, had depth conversation, has seen the document in the past. And so if this is something that council would like to pursue, I'll let him go ahead and make that presentation and get on the agenda, and then I will take direction from you at that time.
Thank
Okay.
you.
The
Just
only
looking
one.
out for you, Eric.
Yeah, well, I think these guys are talking too much together. Poor Eric.
I mean, if the police chief could also work on certain other code things too.
He doesn't do roosters.
Oh, no.
Okay.
You read my mind.
just because I don't talk or scream as loudly as Eric doesn't mean I have nothing to do. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. Very good. So is there anything else council has this evening? Mr. Bloom?
Yeah, my hand's been up for a long time.
I just now see it. Okay.
Anyway, actually, I got the response back from the chief and Greco and Captain Greco back in September. Yeah, reading our current ordinance, the only thing it seemed like it was originally written for was to keep people from using dirt bikes up on the side of the road. And what the state law allows is you can use them anywhere as long as your city's not over something like 5 or 10,000 people. And then you have to have a special ordinance. And Kennewick just put the special ordinance with a couple little tweaks type of thing. So I again don't see a big issue with that. This week last week I sat through an extremely long session, not necessarily time-wise, but it was very long, with Department of Ecology over the crop. Benton County has to have a crop. Everybody looks at me, what the crop is a crop? It's a contamination reduction and outreach program for recyclables. And so over the last week, I've written a crop. They have a boilerplate one, and I boilerplated it, and we're still in the middle of the solid waste plan. So I put all the crop stuff in the solid waste plan, but I've been looking at our recycles and comparing it to Kennewick, Richland, etc. And I'm going to suggest we change our recycling and basically eliminate the all-purpose recycling bins and solely go to paper and aluminum cans and plastic bottles, period. No mixed garbage, because that's what's getting us garbage. Most of our recyclables, when I took some pictures over the last week, it's garbage. I mean, it would not go through recycling. It's going to cost us a fortune. Richland has the people segregate at the bin, and actually their compliance is extremely good. And oh, by the way, if you're recycling a plastic bottle, take the cap off and throw it away, by the way. And as my daughter says, but then the bottle will fill back up. It'll never fit. Tough. That is life. Anyway, so I do believe on the agenda, after we get all the other cities to agree, we're going to be looking at some changes on our recycling, and the mixed bag recycling is just a disaster as far as both with what Ed's Disposal sees and most of the other jurisdictions. Prosser has one of those recycling bins, and so does Benton City. They've stationed volunteers at them to control access to them. So, ours is a free for all, and it's becoming a free for all type of situation. So there's be a change coming up on that. Okay.
Thanks, sir.
What about cardboard?
Cardboard, I mean, we'd keep the cardboard. I would expand the cardboard because almost all of the recycling areas fill up with cardboard because it's such a, and it is, there are really only two things that are practical to recycle in the United States, and that's cardboard and aluminum cans. Number one, plastic is if you can get a clean stream, then it's worthwhile, but we're paying 5 to 6 times as much to dispose of the recycle And I mean dispose of the recycle as it costs to go dump it. So, you know, we could better spend our money, our resources at doing something that's environmentally sound. Green waste is much more about environmentally sound, and we don't have that. So.
All right, we've got, I see Kate's got her hand up one more time. We got Kenneth Harper on, our attorney for an executive session. So Kate, you've got something to add?
Sure, specifically just for the recycling. And if you want, Richard, we could talk offline about it, but I was just curious with the recycling. I thought we didn't do plastics because we've realized that no plastics, if I remember correctly, our plastics would go through Clayton Ward, and Clayton Ward has just been holding on station at the Smart Center in Spokane because they don't actually have a way to recycle plastics at this point because China has so much limited what the contamination percentage can be of all of our plastics that are going there. So I thought we didn't do any plastics.
We ship ours to Portland
Okay.
and it goes through a conveyor belt, it gets sorted.
Mhm.
That's why it costs us $100 and something bucks. And then it ships to China.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
I'd love to talk offline with you about this.
all right.
Perfect.
You can join our SWAC meeting on Thursday.
What time? Let me know.
Okay, I'll send you an invitation.
Gail?
Send me one too. The Zoom link, Mr. Bloom.
Okay. Very good. If staff doesn't have anything for us this evening, we'll go ahead and,
Mayor, just one more question.
yeah,
How
Rob.
many council members plan on attending the Zoom meeting for the SWAC? If we have more than 3, we're going to need to, Stephanie will have to get involved and post it as we'll have a quorum. Was
There's just-
Bloom?
Just 3.
3? Okay, sounds good. Just double check it.
Okay, perfect. All righty. So with that, council, we've got a couple of items for executive session this evening. The first one that we'll have conversation about is in regards to the RCW 4231.10.1I to discuss potential litigation. That'll probably be about a 30-minute conversation. And there would be no action to follow on that one. And then we'll also go into an executive, we'll follow into that executive session with another one for the RCW 4231.10.1C, which is to consider minimum price of real estate offered for sale. And that one would probably also take another 30 minutes for discussion. So we've got a lot on the plate yet this evening. So with that, I'll ask